Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome once again to the United Regional Chambers weekly update. We try and bring you on some interesting guests, some different subjects from around the area. And today I have a great guy that I'm going to talk to in a few minutes. Um, folks, for years and years, Attleboro has been known as the Jewelry City. Well, we're about to talk to a guy that is right in the middle of one of the best jewels that Southeast Massachusetts has put together in many, many years. It's my honor to introduce you all to Jeremy Guay. He's the Director of Career and Technical Education here at the new Attleboro High School. He was kind enough with Chef Lynch the other day to treat us to a phenomenal luncheon for our lunch mob. And we were joined by about 20 retired teachers at the same time. But Jeremy took the time and answered a ton of questions to give us a tour of the new facility that he oversees for career and technical education. So, Mr. Jeremy, welcome.
Well, I really appreciate that, Jack. It's a pleasure to talk to you and to all the people listening today. And just to be sure, when I treated you to lunch, I didn't pay the bill. So
No. No. So, Jeremy,
I'm sorry, I lost you for a second.
all right, tell us about you.
I'm in my 28th year in education, and I'm a graduate of a vocational technical high school, much like Bristol, Plymouth, or Tri-County. I come from southern central Massachusetts, and after going through the exploratory program, I fell in love with the auto collision program and studied that for 4 years. And then later in my junior and senior year, I started working on co-op on our at a local Ford dealership. And after spending a few years in the trade, I was asked to do some substitute teaching back at my old school and my old program. And I caught the teaching bug. And I was addicted to teaching. I just loved every part of it. So I went through the process of getting my teaching license, and I taught my old program for 14 years. Then I became an administrator at that district, handling discipline and teacher evaluation and program quality assurance. And then I left there after about 20 years, and then I did a short stint at a local district, Dayton Rehoboth. And then as of, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I just celebrated my third anniversary here at Attleboro. So it's been the last 3 years have been probably the busiest, but the most accomplished I've ever felt in nearly 30 years of education.
I can imagine with everything that's gone on in the last 3 years between the old building and the new building, it was a whirlwind that you had to endure, but also that you helped coordinate.
Yeah, and not to mention the pandemic. That was in the mix as well. So it's
that minor little detail, I forgot about that.
Small thing, small potatoes. Yeah, it's when I came on board, we were still in the old building, which is now gone, and we had 12 CTE programs, and I use the words vocational program, shop, and career and tech ed simultaneously. They all mean the same thing to me. So over the 30 years, I've seen different uses of those words. So if you hear me say one thing, trust me, it means the same as the other things. So we had 12 vocational programs, and with this new facility being approved by the voters and the residents of Attleboro, thank you very much. It's a tremendous facility. We were able to open up our offerings of career and tech ed from 12. Currently, we're at 18, and a little less than a year from now, this fall, we're going to have 19 programs. So we're bringing in environmental science and technology as our 19th program.
Tell us a little bit more about that, because all my folks thought that was super interesting when you were telling them what's coming.
Well, it's the nice thing is it's not costing the taxpayer a dime, because the new program is being funded by a capital skills grant that we were awarded in December, $250,000. So I think that with today's student, they're very aware of recycling, ecology, and just really taking care of the environment as a whole, both earth and water and wind and everything that goes along with it. So there's a need for it. There's a student demand for it, and being so close to the Taunton River and the ocean, it's a perfect fit for our students. And part of it, one of the most exciting parts of it, is that we in the old building we had a greenhouse, and that unfortunately didn't make its way here to the new facility. And what we are doing is we are purchasing part of those funds are being used to purchase what we call a freight farm, and it actually is much better than a greenhouse. It's a tractor trailer body that's been retrofitted for hydroponic and vertical farming.
Danielle Chinabone, please go to room 442. Danielle Chinabone, please go to room 442.
It's better than being called to the principal's office.
That's right. It wasn't me, so I'm safe. We are a school. So this freight farm, it's a self-contained unit. It's 24-hour growing. It's lit 24 hours a day. And the students learn everything from planting seedlings to monitoring their growth, and then eventually harvesting the crop. In this tractor trailer body, what's wonderful about it is it takes up a very small footprint, uses very little water and power, and it actually replicates the same amount of food that you would get out of an acre of land. So from that, obviously, we're looking to incorporate our farm to table coursework in there. Also, we're going to grow microgreens for our culinary department. It's all organic, and obviously, if there's anything that is residual or left over, that we want to set aside a certain portion of what we grow in order to give the local food banks, because we want to help out the residents who need it the most, and they should have access to fresh organic food as much as possible, because the community gave a lot to put up this building and to support it every year, and it's the right thing to do to give back in any way we can.
Well, it's going to be a great addition to this fabulous new high
I
school.
hope so.
And, especially it's the thing right now, staying green, being environmentally friendly. And this is going to teach the students, what we're going to look for in the future. Now, speaking of students, tell us, how many students do you have in your CTE program compared to what it was years ago?
Well, we have about over 1,800 students here at the high school, and historically, between freshman exploratory and senior year, we would have anywhere between 850 to 950 students, give or take, in CT programming. And I am pleased and proud to say that as of right now, we have over 1,600 students in our career and technical education programs, which I am proud to say makes us one of the largest vocational schools in the state, as far as not only just population wise, but also the number of programs that we offer and the depth and breadth of those programs. It's huge. We're growing.
I'd like you to highlight some of those programs, because you took us on a fabulous tour the other day, and I know that you can't cover them all, but there's many, many new programs up there that the general public doesn't even know about, and that are going to be available to the public. So talk to us about that.
Absolutely. So we have the 12 existing programs like automotive, carpentry, and things like that. But right now we have a number of new programs. One of them is radio and television broadcasting. So we have a full service radio and television studio here at the high school. Robotics and automation technology, which that program is probably one of the most technologically advanced programs that I've seen in nearly 30 years. We also started this year HVAC, which is a tremendously popular program. Along with that, we also have dental assisting. I'm just going down my list because I don't want to miss any.
Sure.
And then, of course, cosmetology. And cosmetology is the program is up. It's fully completed. We have a teacher on board, and that'll be available to students relatively shortly. And then, of course, we have environmental science and technology starting this fall. So we've added a lot of programs in the less than 3 years.
Well, also tell us a little bit about the printing shop and the marketing program there, because a lot of our local small businesses and local folks can go there and get some of the materials that they need.
Yep. We offer a tremendous amount of services to the public. It's, we are here to serve the public. We have our public marketplace, which is open to the public the restaurant. We're going to be having a grand opening soon because we finally got the permanent furniture in that was on, it seemed like intergalactic back order, but everything is in place now. So we'll be having a grand opening. We'll be letting that out there to the public. But right next to it, we also have a full service bank branch. Our salon is right there. That'll be open soon. And then, of course, right alongside of that is our graphics and printing program, which, if you have a need for a non-political, buttons, stickers, canvas, flags, all that silk screen, we have all those services available to the public, and you can come in, you can meet with the teacher and the students, you can design what you need and what you want. Right there, they have their own conference room for that purpose, and then they can tell you, when they can do it and how much it would cost to do the work. So it's a truly state-of-the-art facility that is, it's here to serve the public. We do a lot of printing for the city, obviously, and area residents and nonprofits. But anybody's welcome to come in, have business cards made. It's great practice for the students. It's real world experience, and the quality is truly top notch. Not to mention sheds from carpentry, getting your oil change and your brakes done in automotive. I mean, we're truly here to serve, the citizens of Attleboro.
Well, many times people have heard me moan and groan because I am an Attleboro resident and our taxes did go up, but when you gave us that tour, and I actually was able to see a little bit of it before some of the construction was completed, this is worth every nickel and dime that we're spending. These kids are our future. Folks like Jeremy and his team, they're going to be guiding our students into different careers. How many different programs are you anticipating, say, in the next 2 to 3 years?
Well, we can't be, it won't be a nonstop. We're going to hit capacity at some point. The reason for that is that the wonderful thing about career and technical education is that the state, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, is very careful about what programs they allow to open at what schools. And obviously, student interest is a part of that. That's part of the calculation. But the other part is that we have to have a data-driven analysis of the need of the local workforce. In other words, if we put, 15 or 20 students graduating every year from electrical or carpentry or HVAC, can the local economy accommodate those graduates? So for HVAC, it was an absolute yes. For cosmetology, absolutely. Robotics and automation, believe it or not, absolutely. And so when we look at all those programs, we have to be very selective about what we can open, because we want to make sure that we're setting these students up for success when it comes to entering post-secondary education or the world of work. So environmental science, obviously, with our geographic location next to the ocean and all the rivers and the wetlands, that also is it's a good fit for Attleboro. In the future, there may be a 19th one, maybe something around the lines of biotech. But again, we have to be really cognizant of the footprint of the building, because we're not putting on any more additions to this facility. So anything that we do would have to be internally, and with the popularity of the programs we have now, none of our programs are even close to being closed or anything like that, because the enrollment is wonderful. The programs are rigorous and relevant. The teachers are motivated, obviously, because it's one thing to have a department full of students, but unless you have a motivated certified instructor teaching them, there's not much sense in it. So one of the nice things is that when it comes to partnerships, like with members of the chamber and other businesses, is that every vocational program in the state, it's actually state regulation, has to have what we call a program advisory committee. And it has to have certain members. It has to have members from business and industry. It has to have unions, if it's applicable, post-secondary education partners, as well as students and parents. And what the purpose of those meetings is, it's just like the name says, it's a program advisory committee. They advise our teachers and our programs on what the area requires, from carpentry, from electrical, from auto tech. because what we need here in this vicinity, in the vicinity of Attleboro, might be different than what they need from a department, say, on the North Shore or out in Pittsfield. So it's specific to the area, and it drives the programs to make sure that when we are setting these students out upon graduation, they're prepared for success and not for failure. And that's that's everything that vocational education is about, is preparing students for the world of work, to be, financially stable, and to be, a productive member of society.
Well, I can't say enough about the CTA program because my son graduated through the culinary program there and has been very successful. But 2 points I want to make, and I want the general public to know about. Jeremy has so many different programs, and we know there's a cost involved. But Jeremy, I want to give you a shout out. Tell us how many grants and how much in grants that you've fought for. Because I got to say, you got to fight for these grants to really enhance your programs.
Okay. Well, it's many of us that write these grants, but in the last 3 years, it's been about $1.1 million. So it's a wonderful addition that we can add to these programs for the equipment and the supplies that we need to start these programs and get them up and make sure that they are rigorous and relevant. And, one of the most important factors is that nearly 90% of those funds that have been awarded was used to purchase equipment that was already designated for purchase through the project. So by doing that, we actually were able to save the taxpayers of Attleboro about $1 million. So, anything that we purchased was just taken off the tab of the building.
And another point that I'd like to make about the savings, some of our students would go to different schools for these CTE programs that we did not have.
Yes.
And what a lot of the general public doesn't know is the city of Attleboro had to pay that school X amount of dollars per student. Well, you've saved the city of Attleboro how much now?
A lot. It's, I can't take all the credit, but I get to brag about it because we opened programs here that students were going to other vocational schools to partake in because. Did I lose you? Oh, you still here? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry. New building, still working out the bugs. So it's been hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, over the last few years. And every year that we save these funds, it's exponential. So the residents of Attleboro, they made an investment here in the school, but it's also been, you can look at it as a cost savings on a yearly basis.
Well, Jeremy, from the business community and from the local community, because I'm a Attleboro resident, thank you. Thank you for all the hard work that you and your team do. You've brought a tremendous program to fruition here in the city of Attleboro. Our kids are going to benefit. Our businesses are going to benefit. Because one of the things that we didn't touch on was there are co-op opportunities if you're looking for an intern or something like that, that you can get from the high school. Am I correct?
You are correct. We have a full slate of every program we have, except for the new ones, because they don't have seniors and juniors yet. If you want to hire, if you're looking for a part-time employee after school, during school, reach out to me and we'll get you set up. And we pre-screen students, to make sure that they're going to make a good fit for you and your company. And then it's a great system of businesses need employees, and we need placements for these students. So it's a great partnership. And a lot of times when these students are out there working, they actually get an offer of full-time employment upon graduation. So it is a perfect win-win. And especially with the number of businesses that are in Attleboro, we have a lot of students that are looking for work every June. So it's reach out to me and we'll get you set up.
Awesome. Well, Jeremy, thanks for taking the time to come on the show today. We really appreciate it. Truly appreciate everything that you and your team does over there. Big thank you to the team over there at AACS, James and Austin. I see you in the background there. So, folks, we'll see you again next week. Everybody, stay safe.
Stay